Welcome back to another edition of Cobra Corner. I'm joined now by women's softball coach here at Parkland College, Chuck Clutts. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. So probably coming off a pretty busy weekend. Just had the Athletic Hall of Fame announced at the basketball game this past weekend, and the 05 and the 06 softball teams were inducted. I bet you that was pretty neat.
It was. It's very exciting. Good to see these ladies again. It's been it's been almost 8 years, and they haven't changed much. They all miss the softball. A lot of them are coaching now at high school level. And it brought back a lot of great memories. Matter of fact, we were standing out in the lobby. I just went through each one and said, okay, I remember this about you, I remember this. And it was about softball, or it might not have been about softball, but you don't think about this stuff until you see them, and then all the memories come flying back.
All right, so let's just briefly, the 05 and 06 teams back-to-back got second runner-up for the national championship, correct?
Right. Yeah, they were 104 and 15 or something like that in 2 years, so they earned it. We had two All-Americans. We had several All-Americans in it, and two girls from those teams, Holly Walden, a pitcher, and Brittany Nash, an outfielder, both got inducted in the Hall of Fame as individuals too the same night. So,
is there anything that sticks out that you remember, like from those 2 years, that maybe sticks out more than anything?
They were just fun to be with. I remember joking about it. I said, my only job as a coach is not screw up the lineup, because we had a pretty well set lineup, and nobody really got hurt, and everybody stayed healthy. One girl did tear an ACL, but she came in and pitched at Nationals, and really was exciting for her, exciting for our fans and myself, and did a real good job. And but no, it was just a great bunch of young ladies.
Yeah, very good. Well, move ahead 8 years later. You guys got a #2 ranking here in the nation, so you guys have a nice team coming back from last year, in which you got third. Is that correct?
We got third last year, right?
Third last year. So talk about the team that's coming back.
Well, we have 7 sophomores from last year's team. 6 of them were starters. 3 of them are pitchers. The 7th one would have probably been a starter, but she was injured most of the year, so she didn't get to play that much. And we added 1 more sophomore this year, a transfer from Millikan University. She transferred over to us. She came out of Mattoon. And the girls are all just I've never seen a team so excited about being preseason #2. And we tell them it's because you guys did it. You know, you guys did it last year, and now they know what you got this year, and they also know what kind of freshmen we got coming in, so we got a lot of respect out of that.
Right. Well, as an experienced coach, your 13th season here at Parkland, you've dealt with all kinds of teams, whether they were ranked or not ranked or had expectations. How do you deal with a team when they've got really a lot of high expectations going into the season?
That's fantastic. That is really fantastic. I tell the girls, you know, some teams, their goal is to beat Parkland College. Some teams, their goal is to play 500 ball. Our goal is to get to Nationals and make something happen at Nationals. But now the girls we don't even talk about Nationals anymore. We will talk about rankings all the time because it's an honor for them. It's also a great recruiting tool for Parkland College too. But the girls are just very set on going back and doing better than they did last year. And they've pushed that onto the freshmen, and freshmen are anticipating that now. All
right. Sounds good. So looking at your schedule to start the season, you have 1 game in Illinois, but then you guys take off to Florida.
Right. March 5th, Tuesday, we head down to Wren Lake and play a doubleheader. It's always an iffy game, whether it's going to be cold, snowing, rain, whatever it might be. We just like to get a couple games in before we go to Pensacola, Florida. And we'll start out at Pensacola, Florida on that Sunday, and we'll play Pensacola, and then we'll play at University of West Florida Monday and Tuesday, take Wednesday off, play Thursday up at Jefferson Davis College in Alabama, and then we'll come back and play Friday at Pensacola again, and then we'll come home on Saturday.
Okay, so before you get there to March 5th, like, how much do you hope to have practiced before then? Or like, dealing with the weather and stuff in Central Illinois, how do you kind of strategize as far as your practice goes?
Well, on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, we practice in the gym. We basically hit all the time, and we'll work on our pickoff plays and our rundowns and our first and third situations. On Monday and Wednesday, we have been fortunate enough to, and we did this last year for the first time, go out to the Soccer Planet. And it's an indoor soccer facility in Urbana, and it's absolutely fantastic. It's got AstroTurf on it. We use live balls in there. We scrimmage every Monday and Wednesday out there for an hour and a half. So our pitchers get to throw live to hitters. Our hitters get to see real pitching, which makes a world of difference we can't do in the gym. We do a lot of hitting in the gym, but it's not live pitching. And this keeps us pretty busy. We do it Monday through Friday.
Okay. So looking down your schedule, breaking down the conference and the region, who are some of the teams you're going to have to look out for?
I think there's 2 or 3 really strong teams in here this year. ICC is doing really well. They've made a couple trips already down south. They've played well. They went to Nationals last year too and finished 5th in the nation. So our region was very well represented, with us getting third and ICC getting fifth. And then we also got Lincoln Land, who has just been coming up stronger and stronger every year. And they have a good team again this year. And, of course, Heartland, who won the national championship about 3 or 4 years ago.
All right. Well, and I looked at your schedule. Obviously, a lot of the early games, you going to Florida, trying to stay maybe to some warmer climates. But for people at home, you want to get a chance to watch you guys. April, you guys have almost the whole month. You're just booked with a lot of home games. So that's a good opportunity for fans.
Yeah, I didn't really catch that until I started looking at the schedule of the day. And we are home, away, and then all of a sudden we got like 6 or 7 games at home just like that. So it's really going to be nice for the fans to see.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about some of your assistant coaches that are helping you out.
Okay, well, I got a brand new assistant coach. My past assistant coach, Coach Tarter, had an opportunity to take over University of Purdue Calumet program, and she left on January 15th. And she's starting a brand new program up there, and she's having to order uniforms, help design the field, the whole bit. So she's really having a fun time, but it's also very stressful for her. And so 2 weeks ago, we just hired my new assistant, is Megan Glosser. She's out of Mattoon High School. She's played with some of these, she knows these kids. I got 2 Mattoon kids here already. She played at Lakeland College, and then she went on to Murray State University and played. She's an infielder, outfielder, left-handed slapper. Incredible speed. I actually tried to recruit her. I've recruited her very hard out coming out of high school, but she decided to go to Lakeland instead. But we're very excited about having her on board with us, and she's going to help us with the slapping. And she had when she was at Murray State, she had a ex-All-American outfielder as her coach. And she says, I got some drills and stuff that will really help out her. So I'm really excited to start seeing some of these drills.
Well, if you can't get her as a player, bring her in as a coach.
That's right. That's right.
So I just was thinking, you've been coaching, this is your 13th season, you've had a ton of success, but what would you say is kind of like your favorite thing as a coach? Being
Game
involved?
day.
Game day?
Game day. I make no bones about it. Game day is my favorite day. My second favorite thing. My second thing is recruiting, and practice comes third. People kid me about, well, hey, you're a pretty good coach. I said, no, I'm a good coach because I got great players. And we get these players through recruiting. And that's the whole lifeline of college athletics, actually. If you don't recruit well, it's going to be a long season. And when I first got hired here at Parkland College, I had to try to find some players. I had no background at all at college. And Rod Love, our athletic director, told me that, well, if you become successful, they will come to you, and they do. I was just counting them a while ago. I got 75 applications to play ball for me next year right now, and there'll be a lot more than that coming in.
Yeah. I don't know, some people might be surprised because obviously recruiting is very important in college. It's what you got to do to build your team, but some people might think that coaches don't enjoy that, but you enjoy it, you said.
I really do. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I get to meet the parents, I get to meet the fans, I get to see games. Not always good games, but you get to see games. But no, that's my second favorite thing next game day.
All right. So when you're heading out to Florida to start the season, what are you hoping to see from your team when you guys get started?
Consistency. I've told them the other day that the line I hate the most is, hey, you lost a game? Yeah. Well, it's early in the season. It's not early in the season. Every game to us is very important. Our model is 1 game at a time, 1 inning at a time, 1 pitch at a time. And we take it, we want to win every possible game we can. And I want to see consistency in it. We work very hard on fundamentals. Last year we led the nation in defense for all NJCAA teams, which was exciting for it because the girls worked hard at it. And our pitchers like the idea, well, we pitch the ball, they can hit it, and we will make the play. We're not have to worry about it. So that's very important for them. But I want to see consistency. I want to see the pitchers come out strong. They've been throwing for a month now, and they'll get another half month in. And the defense, I want them strong too. And hitting, if we play good, have good hitting, good pitching, then we'll be fine.
And that sounds like, you want consistency. That's what you're going to be hoping for and what you think you'll need to do to kind of carry through and accomplish your goal this season, I would guess.
Right, yeah. You got to have it. I mean, we had a practice yesterday, we had a scrimmage indoors yesterday, and we made 3 or 4 mental errors, and it cost 3 or 4 runs. And we talked a lot about that, and they understand what we're talking about. We had 2 physical errors, and it cost us 1 run. And they got to understand, when you play against a good team, if you make a mistake, mental or physical, they're going to score a run. And we don't want that to happen. So we want our girls to have the mindset, we are going to go out there and we're going to do the best we can. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to make mistakes, but if we make a mistake, we're not going to bury our head. And we are also going to go out and make sure that mistake does not cost us.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for being on the show, and we look forward to your continued success this season.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. When we come back, we'll have head baseball coach Matt Kennedy.
live play-by-play coverage of Parkland sports. Live the action live. CobraSports.net.
Welcome back to Cobra Corner. I'm joined now by Matt Kennedy, the head baseball coach here at Parkland College. Thanks for being on the show.
Not a problem.
So, 5th year here at Parkland, first 4 years, very successful, had over 180 wins, won a national championship. What are you thinking going into this season?
Pretty excited about it. We're pretty deep all the way around, probably deeper than we've ever been, especially on the mound. So we're excited about that. We have a lot of options. Should be able to match up with a lot of different people, and you know, so hopefully we can get back to the World Series.
All right. Well, we'll break down the roster a little bit more here a little bit later. But ranked number 13 to start off the season, and you guys are going to be getting right into it here in a few days, heading to Arkansas.
Yeah, head down to Arkansas. We leave Thursday morning, open up on Friday. So we're excited to get out of town and hopefully to some warmer weather and get down and play a little bit and you know, just see some different people other than ourselves. So excited about that. Hopefully you know, come out ready to play and can get off on a good start.
Obviously, with the weather here, it's hard to play any games around here early on in the season. You're going to Arkansas, and then you got Tennessee, Missouri, and Ohio. So you're kind of making the rounds around the Midwest and a little bit south there.
Yeah, making the rounds. You know, the first 2 weekends go about you know, 7 to 10 hours south. Hopefully, you know, the weather's a little bit nicer and a little bit drier, so we can get out. And then you know, the Missouri and Ohio trips are going to happen, you know, middle of March. So hopefully, you know, it's dry. I mean, we understand it's going to be cold, but March is always cold for us. So, you know, just get outside and you know, the schedule's full of some good competitions. We're going to play some good teams and you know, kind of see where we stand and hopefully prepare us for the MWAC conference season.
All right. Well, talking about the weather here, obviously you've always deal with that if you're coaching here in Central Illinois. But talk about the way you kind of organize or strategize your practices to deal with the weather.
Well, we go off campus quite a bit. I mean, we don't have an indoor facility that allows us to inter-squad or to scrimmage. So we've been fortunate. We get off campus over to the cage a little bit. It's just a small hitting facility, but our guys can get a lot of swings in. We've been doing that, and then we did something a little bit different this year. Is we're utilizing the Air Force Base out in Rantoul. There's a hangar out there with you know, some teams practice out there. So we've been fortunate enough to get out there. We you know, it's large enough to get full infield rounds. There's some bullpen mounds out there, so we can kind of see some live pitching, go live from infield round, long toss, stuff we've never been able to do. And then we've also made a few trips over to an indoor facility over in Indianapolis. We go over there on Friday nights, and it's actually large enough to actually inter-squad. So we've been able to go over there, play, you know, anywhere from 12 to 18 innings on a Friday night. So I think that's helped us out a little bit too, just to see live pitching and live ground balls, and just put us in more game situations, both offensively and defensively.
That's great. Coach Clutts was talking about how they use Soccer Planet to scrimmage, so it's nice you guys are finding some places around to help you kind of get some better practice.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you go down south early in the year, if you haven't seen anything live, and the game will speed up on you, and you know, the teams we play down there, they're already 6, 8 games into their season, and you know, hopefully these practices have prepared us a little bit to slow the game down and compete with these guys.
All right, so when you head to Arkansas, what are you hoping to see out of your team?
Competitiveness. You know, I think in order for us to win games, we have to compete, and I think that's something we've stressed on our guys all year, starting from day one in the fall, is just to compete and play hard. You know, I understand some mental mistakes will happen. Hopefully we limit those, but physical mistakes are going to happen, especially since we haven't, you know, truly been out on a field yet. But hopefully we just compete and keep grinding it out, and you know, just stay close in games, and hopefully we can pull a few off.
All right. Well, let's talk about your roster a little bit. You said that you were real happy with some of your arms coming back. Let's talk about your pitching.
Yeah, you know, they're a little bit untested. You know, it is a new staff, but we're excited about it. You know, Brett Hahn and Jason Ziegler are the two returners that threw you know, roughly 30 to 40 innings for us last year. Those two guys are going to be in our starting rotation. Brett will start game 1 this weekend, and so I mean, we're excited about those two. They've developed nicely. Sam Taylor comes back from a redshirt year last year with a shoulder injury. He's 100% right now. We're very excited about him being back in the rotation. He would have been a rotation guy last year, minus the injury. So having those three guys that have been in the program for a year really set the tone. We got a transfer break, Tyler Anderson at big left-handed arm. He should compete for anywhere from that 1 to 2 slot. But by the time conference season starts, and another transfer break, Isaac Sampson, who's going to be a two-way guy for us. He's probably going to pitch those midweek games and play in the outfield for us, the rest of the time. So those five kind of set the stage, and we're very, very happy with those guys. But then our bullpen, I think everybody we brought in can contribute. From Dan Leake coming back from a redshirt year, he's improved drastically. Some freshmen like Jake Sale and Alex Lesiak and transfer Taylor Crew from UNC Asheville. All these guys are gonna get a lot of innings for us, and we're very, very excited about the staff for sure. And I think that's going to be kind of the staple in what we're going to base our season on is how we pitch it.
How about your infield?
Infield-wise, we're very good in the infield. Adam Caston's going to kind of be that anchor at first base. I mean, he returns after getting 150 at-bats last year and playing, finishing the year, I guess, at first base for us after Jeff Limbaugh went down with an injury. But, Adam Caston is going to come in there, and he's going to do just fine for us. Joining him is going to be a lot of freshmen. Sam Sampson's probably going to start at third base. He transferred in at break. And then up the middle, we have three guys kind of competing and kind of rotating all the way through from Brady Burns, Marvin Campos, and Johnny Herrera. Those guys are going to kind of rotate around through, and kind of whoever's playing better is going to play. And then Pat Schutzbach, who returns from a year ago, is kind of that ultimate utility guy. He's going to be able to play some third, short, and second for us, and give some guys some breaks, which I think is going to be important during a long season like we have, to give guys a day off from time to time. And he's improved, immensely, and we're very excited about getting him some time as well. And outfield-wise, it's been one of those things where we've always been deep, and it's kind of the same thing this year. I think Isaac Sampson will start out in left field for us. Center field is kind of hit by the injury bug a little bit right now early, but Chase Armstrong and Joe Trinopole kind of battle out in center field, and then Jack Whittlesbach, returning from a year ago, will be out in right field for us. And Angus Bills and Frank Picchiotti are newcomers that'll see a lot of time out there as well. We're happy with all 6 of them out there, so we're going to get those guys a lot of time. And just kind of, again, whoever's playing well is going to be there at the end of the year. And we're excited about seeing those guys compete out there. And I guess behind the plate, Nolan Wilson returns from a year ago, and he's joined by Ramon Valdez, a kid we're really excited about from Calgary up in Canada. So excited about him. And Mark Menizzi's finally healthy from a year ago as well. So those 3 guys right there will kind of hold it down behind the dish.
So recruiting-wise, how'd you hear about the guy from Calgary? How'd that come about?
It's a funny story. My old hitting coach actually lives up in Calgary and works with his travel program. And generally, I go up there once a year up to Calgary and just kind of watch. And we ran into a couple guys we liked, and Ramon being one of them. And we were fortunate enough to land him.
Yeah. Going back to the utility guy, utility guys are definitely the manager's good friend there, huh?
Yeah, I love him. and Pat and. Pat's going to, I think, surprise some people this year. I mean, he's that guy where, hey, if Sam's struggling at third base, we feel comfortable putting Pat there. If, any type of injury happens or this, that, whatever. I mean, Pat's going to slide around, and, there's plenty of guys in the big leagues that make a good living off being a utility guy. So I think Pat mentally is strong enough to do that, and excited to see him play this year.
All right, sounds good. So let's talk about your schedule a little bit. Who are the teams in the conference and in the region that you're going to be looking out for?
I think obviously Heartland. Heartland's been that team that's bounced us the last 2 years and has gone to the World Series the last 2 years. I mean, they're always going to be tough. I think we match up well with them every year, and it's just one of those things. Last year they were better than us on that certain day. We split, regular season, and then they got us in the tournament. So, I think they're going to be good. I think Lincoln Land's going to be good again. They're a team that you can't take lightly. And I think ICC has finally come back from a couple years of being a little bit down. I think they're going to be a team to watch out for. I know that they're going to have some arms that they're going to be able to throw at us. And then a team that always scares me is Danville. I hate playing Danville. They are very similar to us in the style of how they play, and they're very competitive. They grind it out. They're 100% all the time, and they play hard. So you know, that's always scary. And if, you know, they throw strikes and you know, can get us to ground out a little bit, I mean, stay in the game, it's always a scary thing.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to Coach Clutts, and it looks like April's a good month for fans because the baseball team and the softball team have a ton of home games in the month of April.
Yeah, it's you know, after spending our first 17 games I think are on the road, and then when at the end of March when we start going with conference, you know, April we were fortunate enough to a lot of our midweek games are at home, which is going to help us out, keeps our guys in class, and then obviously playing at home on your home field is always a good thing if you don't have to get on that bus and travel a few hours to play. So very fortunate for the month of April to play at home, and hopefully that'll help us kind of get in a groove and you know, win some games and put some stuff together.
All right, so let's talk about some of your assistant coaches helping you out.
Travis Webb is coming in on his first season. He came down, well, Travis pitched here in 2005 and then went on to UT Martin, finished his career down there, and then has been coaching up at Blackhawk up in the Moline area the last 3 seasons. You know, I've known Travis for a while, him being an alum and a guy that you know is young and knowledgeable. So you know, when Coach DePotter left at the end of the year last year, Travis was one of the first guys I called, and you know, he was excited to get back down here to Champaign and start working with our program where he kind of started collegiately. So Travis is in his first season. He you know, works with our pitchers every day. Mark Walter is a 2009 graduate here at Parkland, went on to Southern Indiana. Mark was on our first team that won the national title in '09. He got done with school and wants to get into the coaching deal, and so we offered him a job. He comes in and he's worked with our outfielders and has done a really good job. And then Jordan Comandina, who was actually a year ago working out with us. He's a kid out of Normal West, went on and played with Purdue University and played 4 seasons with the Houston Astros organization and was a double-A guy in the outfield and as a catcher. Was working out with us last year, went in and got released late last summer. And you know, his wife is from around the area. He's from Normal, and they're living in Champaign right now. So he just kind of, you know, we asked him to come on board, and he's been great. So you know, he works with our catchers and assists with the hitters every day. And again, our guys look up to him, especially a guy that played professionally. It's something all of our guys want to do, and a level they want to get to. So the knowledge that he has playing kind of all over the country and at a high level has been great for our guys.
Yeah, sounds great. You got 2 guys that have been through Parkland's program and can relate with the players in that way, and then you got a guy like you said that played professionally. So.
Yeah, it's a good mix, and they're young. You know, they're all, you know, 24, 25, 26 years old. You know, not too long ago they were still playing at the college level, so they do relate well to our guys, and you know, I think that's important.
You mentioned the 2 guys your 2 coaches that played at Parkland went on to 4-year schools. That's something that you've been very successful at in the last few years.
Yeah, it's been good, and you know, when you have good players that do well in the classroom, you know, I think it's an easy sell, and our guys have, you know, when they do move on, they've been successful, whether it be at the professional level or at the 4-year NCAA schools, and so that's an easy sell. They look back at, you know, I think we prepare our guys for that pretty well, and just by the way we run our everyday operation here, and they've been successful when they move on.
You know, you've been coached now here at Parkland for 5 years. What would you say your favorite thing as a coach is?
You know, for me, it's getting in the cages with the guys. It's getting on the field with the guys and helping them develop. I mean, that's one thing for me that. You know, I like recruiting. I like being on the road and watching players, and I think you have to bring good players in to be good and compete. But I think the everyday practice-wise, and I tell our guys, hey, practices are the coaching staff. You know, that's their days, and that's what we enjoy doing is getting our hands dirty with these guys and teaching and developing and hopefully helping these guys learn the game of baseball. For me, that's my favorite part of it. And game days, you know, the game days are fun, but I'll be honest with you, game days, we're sitting back, we're watching our guys play and you know, maybe putting a bunt coverage on here or there, making some decisions. But for the most part, I mean, the players are gonna win or lose the games by the way they compete and the way they execute. But for me, it's just getting in with the guys and teaching.
All right, sounds great. Well, thanks for being on the show, and good luck with your season.
All right, thank you.
That's it for this edition of Cobra Corner. We'll leave you with a look back at Parkland Baseball's 2009 NJCAA World Series Championship. Thanks for watching.
It's the 2009 NJCAA Division II World Series. We are down to our last two teams. Parkland College so far has swept through this bracket. They've won their first 4 games, and if they pick up one more win, they will pick up their second national championship in school history. Just moments away from the first pitch between Parkland College and Scottsdale Community College out of Arizona. Here's a swing and a miss, a big overhand hook, and Echebarren goes down swinging. Kiermaier puts down a bunt. It's a good one. Catcher has to grab it, and he will have no throw. There goes Kiermaier. The pitch is low, and there is no throw. A swing and a line drives a hit to left. Kiermaier has good speed. He's being waved around, and the left fielder Echebarren fumbled the ball for just a moment, and that will allow Kiermaier to score. Parkland College takes the 1-0 lead. There go the runners, and the pitch is swung on and missed, and the throw goes into left field. Up is Mitchell Hill. He will score. Roberts makes third, and it's 2-0 Parkland. The pitch gets to the backstop. Here comes Roberts. He will score, and it's 3-0 Cobras. 2-1, Perez hits one toward right. This one's back to the track, to the wall, and leaping. No, he can't make the catch. It's gone. Nate Roberts almost robbed Perez of a home run, but Scottsdale on the scoreboard. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. We go to the bottom of 4. It's 3-1 Parkland. As Kevin Crane leads off the 4th, and on 1 and 2, Crane grounds one up the middle. Shortstop to his left. It skips off his mitt into center field. He sets himself hunched over at the wake. Stand on 2 and 1. It's a line drive hit to left. Ruff drives one into left field. Here comes Crane around third. Here comes the throw. It's off the mid of the third baseman. The run will score. And with that base hit, a visit to the mound, Pond's night is going to be done. We're going to have a new pitcher coming on. John Dean, a right-handed reliever, will come into the game. The 1-2 pitch is a line drive to right field. That's going to get down and go to the wall. It rolls into the corner. On his way to third is Ruff. Up with it, Perez. They're going to hold Ruff at third, and a double for Colin Dedecker. The 1-1. A swing and a ground ball's a base hit to right field. That'll score 1. Here comes Dedecker being waved around. The throw to the plate is cut off. The throw to second base, and they've got Kiermaier hung up in a rundown. But Kiermaier drives home 2 with an RBI single. Max Friedman will stay on the bump. He will work into the 7th inning. And right now, he is pitching in the national championship game, and he's up 6-1. The pitch. A swing and a humpback line drive hit towards short, and the ball bounces over the shortstop's head. 3-2 pitch. This one's hit a ton. Way back, deep to left, and it is gone! A 2-run mammoth blast by Colin McKean has put Parkland in front 8-1. McKean's first home run of the tournament. He's now driven in 6, and that was a no-doubter as he tattoos a Zapata fastball. Scottsdale able to scratch across a run on the top of the 8th inning, but they're still down 6. 1-2 awaiting Colin Dedecker. A swing and a ground ball, chopped left side. That's going to get through for a hit. An open stance by Kiermaier, and the pitch. A swing and a long drive. This one's deep to right, to the track, to the wall. It's gone! A 2-run home run by Parkland College. That'll make it 10-2. We'll have to play a full 9, but Kiermaier just pulled his team a bit closer to winning the national championship. His 3rd home run of the tournament. First one from Zapata. Hard shot back up the middle, another base hit. A swing and a humpback line drive that's falling and will fall for a base hit. They're going to wave Mitchell Hill all the way around. He's going to score, and it's 11-2 Parkland. Poligowski's going to come right after him. He sets himself. He checks and pitches. Strike 3 called. Parkland's a national champion. The Cobras have come to Enid, and they will dogpile on the mound as they have swept through the 2009 NJCAA World Series. Your final score, Parkland College 11, Scottsdale, Arizona 3. As what a performance by these Cobras, and they deserve that dog pile out on the mound.